Brianna Bennett here from KTVN. I have been a proud attendee and MC of Pops on the River for about 7, 8 years now. It is one of my favorite events of the whole year. This would have been the 26th year of the event, if you can believe it. Such a bummer. We're not allowed to meet in person, but I guess we still get to celebrate it a little bit, and we're all having some fun sharing some of our memories of Pops past. So I wanted to share you some of the ones that I have. This was the first year I attended here with my co-anchor, Kristen Remington, having a great time. Now, the next year, we did a New York theme at our table, and this was kind of when we started to really get into the themes. People getting pretty excited about it. Check this out. This was Woodstock, and we had a whole pun here on Woodstock the hippies and then Woodstock the bird. So we were hippie birds. It's still a travesty that we didn't win that year because I think we were excellent. Love our table. All right, but this was the pièce de résistance. We were Cirque du Soleil this year, and look how everyone really got into the theme this year. It was so much fun. Yeah. We actually emceed that year dressed as Cirque du Soleil performers. But check this one out. One of our table members actually wore nothing but body paint. She was like so decked out. It was such a good time. Obviously, we always love the themes. We love all of the fun we have, hanging out with everybody, being at beautiful Wingfield Park, hearing the incredible music by the unparalleled Reno Philharmonic. It is so much fun. Even, some of the dangerous and potent cocktails that people come up with make for some really, really good memories for sure. So it's been fun looking back on them. So here's to 2021 when we will be back at Wingfield Park. Until then, enjoy Pops at home.
Good evening, everyone. Hello there. Good evening. Welcome to Pops at Home.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah.
I think you're facing the wrong direction.
Oh, I am? Oh.
There you are.
Hi. I'm really glad we aren't recording yet.
Well, we are actually already recording.
We are?
We are. You're on camera.
Hi. Welcome to Pops at Home. I'm Laura
Welcome, everybody.
I'm Laura Jackson. I'm the conductor, and I'm wearing a ridiculous hat, and it's really kind of fun. I think I might do this every day.
You look great. Welcome, everybody, to Pops on the River 2020, the at-home edition.
Yeah, this is, the land of opportunity. We get to do everything in a new way, in a special way. So here we are. I have a fabulous picture of former festivities behind me, and we are all going to have an awesome party right in our own homes, and the whole purpose is to raise money for the Reno Phils. We are supporting all the programs that the Reno Phil does by donating during this very hour, during this good, fun time. But Tim and I are here to explore the history of this event, and Tim knows an awful lot about this. Tim, tell us how it all started.
Well, apparently, I cannot claim to have been there, but in the 80s, our Reno Philharmonic Guild wanted to put on a fundraiser, and Nancy and John Flanagan agreed to host a party at their home. Apparently, they brought in bartenders and music and food from New Orleans for that first event. So they were making and sipping authentic Sazeracs right there in Reno. And everybody had a fabulous time and wanted to do it again. And from there, the tradition grew and grew and grew until it outgrew the Flanagan's house and had to move to Wingfield Park in 1994. And ever since then, it's grown and grown and grown until last year, the 25th edition, the Woodstock version, was the biggest and best to date. And that would have been topped this year, but it's okay because we've got everything lined up for next year. And of course, as Laura said, the whole purpose of Pops on the River, in addition to being the best party in Reno of the year, is also to raise money for the Reno Phil, which it has done very, very, very effectively. I think last year we raised over $100,000 for the Phil. And as we go into this strange pandemic year for the orchestra, we're hoping tonight to raise $40,000 through your contributions. We are already over 30. We're hoping that during the presentation tonight, you will click on that donate button and help us out with a contribution to support the programs. Just because we're not able to play the sold out performances at the Pioneer Center, does not mean we're sitting around at this moment. In fact, we are planning our cameras and equipment to do virtual concerts from the Pioneer. And this very night, as we speak, players are all around Reno. We have, I think, 11 different groups working in different locations. And that's something that we're going to be continuing all summer long, pop-up concerts throughout the community. It's so fun. I really, I wish that we could be there in the park with you right now. But at the same time, I love the creativity that our orchestra is bringing to this moment, playing in ways that are safe, but still live music for our community.
Absolutely. And just, Tim, think of all the fundraisers that you and I have attended over the years. And you have the dinner, and you have speech number 1, and you have the silent auction, you have speech number 2.
Yeah.
And before you know it, everybody's asleep. And here we are doing this awesome thing so that everybody can party down at home. You have your drink, your fabulous food. We hope that you are staring at your computer wearing an unbelievable costume. We have a photo contest that we're going to announce the winners of. And it's just going to be a fabulously fun evening. And what we need you to do, as well as enjoy it with us, is to help us finish raising our goal and perhaps even exceed it in order to bring this event back in 2021, bigger and better than ever before, and all of the events that we do throughout the year, the educational programs, you're supporting them as well.
Yeah, we're really looking at the mission and traditions of the Reno Phil, and Pops on the River is perhaps our best known and most enjoyed tradition. And so, by golly, we are going to be back bigger and better in 2021.
Absolutely. One of the things over the years for me it's been so much fun to explore different repertoire. I mean, when we started with the concerts that I did, I remember doing very sort of classic down the middle Broadway music concerts. And they are great. I mean, really, you can't get better than that. And we always feature great Broadway standards on all of our Pops concerts. But it's been really fun in the past few years to kick the energy up a notch, to have conga lines going across the stage, to have the music of Tina Turner and Journey and Elton John, and to see the audience rocking out with their lights on their cameras at night. And it just makes us all have extra fun.
It is a great party, and the audience is such a high energy spot to be. But I think the musicians also have a blast putting this together.
I am so excited to share with you some videos of an interview that I did with musicians that have been playing this event for years. Let's take a listen. Well, again, thanks so much to all of you for joining me to reminisce about Pops on the River and talk about all our fabulous memories. So, Mary, you want to start? Introduce yourself. Tell us what you do with the orchestra.
Well, my name is Mary Miller, and I am the flute player with the Reno Phil, and I've been playing since sometime in the 80s. And I've played at every single Pops on the River since it started. And I've also been the personnel manager for the last 22 years.
Oh, that's fabulous. And just tell us your number one top fabulous memory.
It's hard to say. There's so many memories, a lot of years of playing this gig. It's been so great. Overall, I would say that the audience, just the interaction with the audience, from when I first walk into the park to get to the gig and see all those tables, it's so great. And I walk around and see all the tables and all the great food and beverages on the table, and that's great. And then we get up there to play, and then later on, the audience is so engaged and having such a great time. I think the orchestra really feeds off of it. And invariably, one of the guest artists will always say, "The more you drink, the better we sound." Well, I don't know if it's the alcohol talking, but I can definitely say the better time they have, the better we sound, because we just start enjoying ourselves more and loosening up and having a great time with them.
It really is an unbelievable energy in that event. And it really, it's reciprocal with the audience. There's so much creativity in the tables and in all that the audience members bring. So Rita, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Rita Whitaker Hahn, and I've played cello with the Reno Philharmonic since 1985 when I moved to Tahoe from the Midwest.
Fantastic. And how about you? How about a great Pops on the River memory for you?
It's got to be my top favorite. It's the highlight in my career when we were performing with Barry Jakowski, Glenn Miller's Pennsylvania 65000. And throughout the piece of music, the whole orchestra would say, Pennsylvania 65000. Then, near the end of the piece, now mind you, my heart is pounding, and the microphone is right next to me, sitting in my chair at the cello stand right there. My heart's pounding. I know my part is coming. And I get to say, sorry, wrong number. Oh, highlight of my career. I loved doing that, and I was so appreciative that Barry asked me to do it and that everyone was so fun with it and just loved it. And like I said, highlight of my career.
Oh my gosh, Rita, that is so fantastic. And all the years you spent practicing the cello, and here is your moment. And it's not exactly what you did in the practice room, but equally rewarding, right?
Well, I had to practice the accent.
Oh, that's great. So Scott, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. My name is Scott Faulkner. I'm the principal bassist of the orchestra. And at the time that Pops on the River started, I was the music librarian back when Barry Almond, who was the executive director of the orchestra, had this idea because he had done it, I think, with an orchestra in Kentucky. And he said, oh, it's going to be great. It'll be nuts. They dress up. And I thought, yeah, how's that going to go? And we have seen how that's going to go. It became a legendary part of our culture. So, not to reinforce too much of the alcohol talk that Mary talked about, but you can't get around it at Pops on the River. So my memory that sticks out probably the most for me that I just loved, with all apologies to the conductors on the call, was after the break very often, there'll be an auction to raise money for the youth orchestra or for the Phil. And so people raise their hand, and because their judgment is impaired, they pony up large amounts of money, perhaps larger than they might have otherwise, and they get to conduct a Sousa march or something. And so it turns out that one of the, and I forget who it was, probably for the good, but the board chair at that time won the auction. And so she got up and got her baton and learned how to conduct a march. And, she did it. And then she turned around and grabbed the microphone, as a good board chair would, thanked the audience and encouraged them to donate, and said, hey, and Barry Jakowski was the conductor, said, hey, Barry, they don't even need us.
I know, it's the worst thing about having guest conductors is, the whole scam is revealed. It's a terrible thing. That's great. We have had some great guest conductors at this event, and actually the picture behind me reminds me of Lydia back here, my little witch over here, when she got up with her broom that proceeded to disintegrate as she conducted with it. Do you remember that? That was a great moment. So, Miss Virginia, hello.
Hello, I'm Virginia Bowman, and I'm a violinist in the Phil. I started out as a violinist in the youth Phil, actually, and so I've been with the Phil since I was very young, and I'm also currently now the operations manager, so I work on the behind-the-scenes logistics as well. And on the topic of guest conductors, I think one of my favorite moments was actually from, was it just last year's Pops on the River Woodstock, when we had actual Woodstock get up and conduct the orchestra as the guest conductor. That was an excellent moment. And I think that's my favorite part every year. There's just always something funny about the guest conductors, and it's just fun to be just playing and laughing the whole time while you're playing, watching these guest conductors, and they have so much fun, and so we have fun. And so aside from the guest conductors, I think also the wonder of when is the conga line going to happen.
Yeah.
it's a simultaneous moment of laughing and also somewhat fear that something terrible might happen with these people coming doing a conga around the stage. But it's so much fun to see how much fun everybody else is having, and I feed off of that too. I love it.
Hi, Reno Phil. I'm Julia Murney. I was one of the Wicked Divas who came and sang for you 10 years ago. And I just wanted to say hello. I wanted to show you my quarantine two-tone hair. And I wanted to tell you something that I think you already know, which is how extraordinary your orchestra is, led by the grand diva maestra herself, Laura Jackson. And I remember so clearly that the audience, we were outside in the park. The audience came dressed up as witches. They had picnics. It was fantastic. And at the end of our Act One was the song Conga by Gloria Stefan and the Miami Sound. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. And the Phil was killing it, and Laura Jackson was just leading them through it. And all of these spontaneous conga lines popped up in the audience. All these people started doing conga lines. And I'm sitting there watching this, and what she didn't realize is that a whole conga line had come up onto the stage behind her. But she was just doing her thing and doing her thing, and it finished, and she turned around and went, because there were all these people on the stage. It was awesome. It was such a delight to feel all of your joy in the music that orchestra was bringing you. So my quarantine two-tone hair and my little dog in the back and I say, we hope you all are well and have a beautiful, beautiful summer.
Hi, Ali Mazzi, Broadway singer and actress here and alumni of Pops on the River 2016. And I have a couple memories from that time. One in particular was just, I was so in awe of the dedication and the creativity of everyone who showed up that night in the audience in their amazing costumes. Specifically, there was a table right downstage that was all dressed as the Wizard of Oz characters. Me being from Wicked on Broadway as Glinda, I was obsessed with that table. I even shouted to them and told them that. And I said, when do you guys start planning for next year's costumes? And I expected them to say a couple months in advance, and they were like, tomorrow. And I was like, of course. I just loved the spirit of that night. I also, one of my favorite memories while I was there was me and my singing partner, Nicole Parker. We didn't get the cue that the second act had started. So Nicole comes in first, and she didn't have time to put her shoes on, and so she just ran out on stage and started singing with no shoes on. But Maestro Laura Jackson was such a rock star and saw that and kicked her shoes off. And they were rocking it out, and then I got on stage and joined them, and I noticed they both had no shoes on. They were just barefoot, and so I kicked my shoes off, and we just rocked it out and had no shoes on, and nobody cared, and it was just like a perfect example of the spirit of my time there. I'm so grateful I got to be there with you guys. I can't wait till next time.
So Tim, I'm sure that everybody is asking you the same kinds of questions that I'm getting, which is, what is the Reno Phil doing now that we can't do concerts? Has it been quiet at the Reno Phil?
We have been busier than ever. First, we all had to leave the office and go work from home, so figuring that out was a challenge. We've done more Zoom calls than I can count. But no, the music has not stopped for a second, because right away we started spreading joy with our musical videos. We watched Johnny Lynn's looping his cello, and we watched Julie Machado singing in her car, and all of these videos have been so fun to watch. We've done a fabulous collective piece of Home Means Nevada, performed by 80 of our musicians, orchestra members, chorus members, and yourself conducting, holding everybody together. It was great, and that has been shared over 20,000 times. And our seniors did a virtual exercise. They played Pomp and Circumstance, so everybody in our city could graduate with the appropriate pomp and circumstance. And then, we've taken Spread Joy live now. So as we're tonight, starting at 7 o'clock tonight, we have musicians all over the city playing in people's driveways and parks and popping up outside your restaurant. You might, right now, turn around and see somebody in your driveway playing. and so on and so on. And of course, we're getting ready to do some virtual concerts at the Pioneer. So no, the Reno Phil has not slowed down for 1 second.
I love it. I love it. Music finds a way. And we even have very special t-shirts as we perform these pop-up concerts in driveways and in front of businesses that say music finds a way on the back. I have been so inspired and thrilled by the creativity of our musicians, of our staff, of the whole organization, finding ways to continue to serve our public, to spread joy, to just bring a smile to people's faces. So we have a really special treat now. You get to hear one of our fabulous musicians, keyboardist and pianist, Jeff DePauli, playing his original composition called The Coronavirus Etude, a very somber and contemplative composition. Please enjoy. Wasn't that absolutely hilarious? Oh my gosh, I think it's just brilliant. Jeff manages to follow every single protocol of avoiding the virus while performing. Brilliant. Thank you, Jeff. Just a reminder, while you're having fun tonight, while you're having good food, wonderful libation, you remember to click on that donate button. Our goal is to reach $40,000 or exceed it. This supports the Reno Phil programs the entire year, our education programs, community engagement programs, and our wonderful, fabulous concerts. And it is the thing that will ensure that we are back at Wingfield Park next year doing a concert that is bigger and better than ever before. Thank you so much for your support. And after you push that button and make that donation, you go make yourself another cocktail and make this one just a little bit stronger.
Yeah, because Pops on the River would not be Pops on the River without those best drinkable concoctions. And here to tell us about one of the great ones is an ex-judge. It's a tough thing being a judge of the best drinkable concoction. We have had to increase the number of judges to make sure we do the best job possible. One of the best was Larry DiVincenzi from Rum Sugar Lime, and he's here tonight to share one of his recipes with you.
I love playing the POTR shows because of the amazing guest artists. We always have the top best singers. We've never had a dud. They're such pros. Just they drop in, do a quick rehearsal with us, and then it's up to the conductor really to keep the cues going. The cues are when, like, knowing when to bring the orchestra in. The singer will, like, say, do a little bit of banter, and then Laura has to know when to start, and we have to be watching her and not listening so much to the singer be funny. So it's tricky, but they always get it. And if we don't do a perfect job with the cues, they still get it. They still are perfect. Some of my favorites over the years, way back when, and Rita mentioned Davis Gaines, he was great. Hugh Panaro, Jodie Benson, who was the voice of the Little Mermaid in the movie, Lakeisha Jones, Sal Viviano, Debbie Gravitt. Debbie Gravitt is awesome, really great. And Ali Mozzie and Julia Murney, they were both from Wicked, both Glinda and Elphaba. And I love those songs too, Scott. They were great. I've never not loved one of our guest artists, but I can say, and if Laura, if you can help out with this, I never want to play Memory from Keith again.
Memory. She's gonna like end the call. Delete right here. Yeah. For Mary, it's like no Tchaikovsky and no memory, no cats, right?
Thank you. Now you have that on tape, Laura.
Yeah. You have that on record.
Another thing that I loved about the soloists was looking to see what they would wear, especially what is for the first half.
Yeah.
And then what is she gonna wear for the second half?
Oh, well,
so gorgeous.
Yeah. And sometimes there are multiple changes. I remember Lakeisha had 4 or 5 different costume changes one of the times that she came, and she and Sherry were working hard getting those, throwing things off, because of course everything is very rustic in this, here we are in Wingfield Park. It's not like you have an air-conditioned dressing room. You're dealing with a tent, and the tent is kind of a ways off. So when you have costume changes, you got to be able to, have to have a streamlined process.
Hello, Reno Phil. It's Lakeisha Jones, Broadway singer and American Idol finalist, and former guest of Pops on the River. I have had such a wonderful time being a guest with you guys throughout the years. You guys have always been wonderful and so hospitable to me and all the other artists as well. I can recall a time when singing Proud Mary, and Proud Mary I was, shaking my groove thing on the floor. I could feel the love and the energy so high in the audience, and I was loving on you right back. I hope that this message finds you all well. Your wonderful, outstanding symphony and your staff have always just been fantastic, A1. I am sending love and prayers to you guys and letting you know that we will get through this. But until then, everything will be all right. Love you.
Hi, beautiful people, beautiful Reno people. My name is Debbie Gravitt, and I had the honor to sing with the Reno Phil as part of the Broadway series of Pops on the River. And I cannot tell you how much fun I had doing that, because my husband grew up in Reno, and the only thing I really knew about Reno was the peppermill. And there I was singing on the beautiful river, watching people running all over the place. I had the greatest time. I also got to do songs that I hadn't done before. I had a new album out, or I had new songs actually for an album that I was about to do called Big Band Broadway. Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the Surrey. When I take you out in the Surrey with the fringe on top. And I got to sing with the incredible Reno Phil. I can't wait to be back with you guys again. Be well, be safe, and keep singing.
Hi, I'm Angela White, Chairman of the Board for the Reno Phil. Many know Pops on the River as one of the summer's best parties, but did you also know it's the single day largest fundraiser for the Reno Phil? From table sales and sponsorships to raffle prizes and auctions, Pops on the River brings in approximately $100,000 each year to help support the concerts, programs, and educational outreach the Reno Phil offers. When you think of the Reno Phil, what comes to mind? For some, it's a concert hall with music from Beethoven and Tchaikovsky. For others, it's the sights and sounds of the annual holiday extravaganza, Spirit of the Season. For many watching this, it's probably Pops on the River, a crazy night of your favorite songs performed against the backdrop of the beautiful Truckee River. The Reno Phil is all of those things, but so much more. Each year, we reach nearly 50,000 people through classical and pops concerts, including a free 4th of July show in downtown Reno and a free family concert that introduces children to the symphony. And that's just the beginning. With 5 core programs, we provide music education and instruction to over 15,000 students each year through a combination of free after-school programs for disadvantaged youth, traveling orchestra ensembles, special youth orchestras, and 4 youth orchestras. We know that music is a soundtrack to our lives, and it is our mission to make sure that future generations develop that same love for performing, enjoying, and appreciating music. Our education programs are developed to provide touch points at different moments in a child's life to help foster that love and appreciation of music as they grow up. It takes weeks, months, and years of planning to bring all these concerts and education efforts to reality. But they take more than time. They take money, and we could not do it without the financial support of our community. Every year, ticket sales account for only 45% of the Reno Phil's income. The remaining amount is dependent on support from foundations, businesses, and most importantly, you. That's right. Individual giving is the single biggest source of income for the Reno Phil. Our goal with today's Pops at Home event is to raise $40,000 for the Reno Phil. We're off to a strong start with $20,000 already donated from sponsors and table buyers. With your additional support, our goal is within reach. All you have to do is click on the donate button below and make your contribution today. Without your support, the Reno Phil would not be able to entertain thousands with great music or educate the community's youth. Unfortunately, due to effects from COVID-19, which continues to result in canceled and postponed concerts, income from ticket sales will be down dramatically this year, which means the support of our donors is more important than ever. So as you enjoy this Pops at Home event, consider making a donation to the Reno Phil today. You'll see a button at the bottom of this screen that you can click on to make a donation. There's the option to make a single gift, or you can also set up a monthly donation, which helps provide consistent monthly income to keep the Reno Phil strong and ready to fulfill its mission. Thank you for being a part of the Reno Phil family and for making sure that live music remains a vibrant piece of this community.
And we have some winners, Laura.
Yes, we do. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. We're going to announce the winners of our photo contest, all these fabulous pictures that have been sent in. So, what's the first one, Tim?
First, we're going to announce our category winners, and winners in each of these categories will win a $100 gift card from either the Stonehouse Cafe, Skyland Cafe, Washoe Public House, and 2 bottles of wine for your next year's 2021 Pops on the River table.
Hey, what could be better?
We want to give a special thanks to everybody who entered our photo contest. We had so much fun looking back at your memories, and we're going to give a special shout out, honorable mention to Rogers Broomhead, because he sent us some great photos of life during quarantine that made us all laugh. So thank you, Rogers.
Yeah, they were really terrific to see.
So first up, in the most historic category, the winner is Peter Pan, submitted by Mina Spodobalski. Yay!
Congrats, Mina! Terrific. And the next is most elegant. And the winner is Jacqueline Coleman, Muse Group Muses.
They really do look extremely elegant. It's a wonderful, wonderful collection. Next up, Best Quarantine, and the winner is
George Wade, Woodstock's house.
Fantastic work,
Yay.
George. Oh my gosh, and we follow that up with the best drinkable concoction, which also goes to
George Wade, yeah, good night. This is psychedelic Jello shots at Woodstock. Congrats, George.
And lastly, the best, most outrageous table goes to
our very own Evelyn Clapp, Rockstar Revival.
Yay, way to go, Evelyn! And now we come to the grand finale.
Yes.
The best of show. This category wins a catered VIP table at the 2021 event.
The best.
Now, here we have a little upset. The grand prize, the photograph that received the most votes was actually our own marketing director, Evelyn Clapp, with Rockstar Revival. So hooray, Evelyn! However, of course, staff cannot win. So the grand prize goes to Nina Spodolski with Peter Pan. Yay, Nina! We will see you at your catered VIP table next year. Laura, tell us a little bit about next year's 2021 Pops on the River.
We have the music of Frank Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald. What could be better than that? Can't wait to do it.
What could be? We will all be back in the park with our fantastic orchestra led by Maestro Laura Jackson, fantastic artists, and the best party in the city. So let's see. If you are having a Pops at Home party, please be sure tonight to tag us and use the hashtag Pops at Home.
Yes, indeed. And make sure that if you haven't had a chance to donate, that you help us reach our $40,000 goal. Looking back at all these fabulous memories reminds us of how much we absolutely cannot wait to perform for you again. So if you haven't had a chance to donate, please go press that button and help us reach our $40,000 goal. This helps all the programs we do all year long. And even in this situation, we're pedaling fast and doing all sorts of things. It will help ensure that we are back at it in 2021 Pops on the River, and we make it better than ever before.
And we are going to be back with you all year long with live music of different stripes. You may experience some of it in person and some of it over your computer screen, but the Reno Phil is here for you, spreading joy throughout the community. And it is an honor and a privilege to do that. Until we see you next time, have a great night.
Party on!
Hi everyone, it's Landon Miller, and I've been the MC of Pops on the River since 2016. Boy, what a bummer that we're not able to celebrate together in Wingfield Park this year for 2020, but perhaps we have the memories of the last several years to get us through one summer of missing out on the fun. At least for me, some of my favorite memories are just interacting with the tables. One year we had the purple rain table that were right up in the front, and then another year too we had the orange is the new black table way out in the back. Of course, that one inspired by the show on Netflix, Purple Rain, in honor of Prince, who passed away a couple of years ago. Another fun memory too was when the giant chicken, he got to go up on stage and do the guest conducting thing. Boy, that was a good time. But I think, real talk here, I'm getting closer to the camera, just like, ooh. My favorite memories are the memories that, like, I don't remember at all because of, if you know what I'm saying. Yep. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Anyway, please be safe this year, summer of 2020. We will get through this together. Be safe, stay strong, and we hope to see you again next year for Pops on the River 2021.